Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you comics news, and reveal the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching a Comic Hero show. Now kick that intro! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host Victor Nunley, and I am a comic hero. And I hope you all continue to stay safe out there. And if you're not comfortable with going out, then stay at home. And if you want to go out, then just be careful. Wear a mask if you can, and stay 6 feet away from people. The only way we're going to get through this is if we follow the guidelines according to the CDC. I mean, these amazing men and women are working around the clock to make sure that a vaccine for COVID-19 is being developed, and I think we owe it to ourselves to listen to them. All right, don't really have much else to say, but time to kick things off like I usually do. Give away a free t-shirt. Alright, on last week's episode, I asked true or false. Venom is immune to Ghost Rider's pin and stare. Well, the correct answer is true. The first time Ghost Rider used his pin and stare on Venom, nothing happened. The second time, he almost went nuts. And ever since then, Ghost Rider has never used a pin and stare on Venom or any other symbiote. The correct answer is true. 9 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their name's been entered in a drawing for a free tee, and that drawing takes place right now. So, the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is Stephanie Flowers from Warren, Ohio. So, congratulations, Stephanie. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. Alright, here's the question for next week's episode, and this is a DC question. Which DC character can control all 7 deadly sins? Now, here's a hint. This character has been a Teen Titan for a very long time. Second hint. This character is the daughter of a demon. Now, that should be a dead giveaway right there. And I'm gonna go ahead and use this final clue. This character has been on the cartoons Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go. You should know what it is now. Everyone who answers correctly has been entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. Now, the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight is usually reserved for fans to make requests, but every once in a while, I like to come out with one. And this one features one of the craziest characters in the DC universe going up against one of the most misunderstood characters in the Marvel universe. Representing DC, we have Harley Quinn. And representing Marvel, we have Gwenpool. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's Harley Quinn versus Gwenpool. Harley Quinn is trained in psychiatry and is an expert gymnast who possesses immunity to various toxins and utilizes weaponized props. Gwenpool is a brilliant tactician who possesses vast knowledge of the Marvel Universe, use of extreme weaponry, medium awareness and interaction, and dimensional travel. Who will win? The beginning of this fight brings new meaning to the term mind over matter. Gwenpool would try to read Harley, but the latter would shut her mind off to the former. After a half hour of this, the two get annoyed, grab each other's mouths, and try to whack each other. Instead, they end up hitting each other's mallets. These two soon understand that they're way too evenly matched. This fight ends in a draw. But wait! Just as they're walking away, Harley hurls a grenade at Gwenpool. Gwenpool knew this was going to happen from the start, and she grabs her mallet hits the grenade at Harley and it explodes, killing her instantly. Gwenpool wins. That concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that fight, and I'll have another for next week. Now it's time for Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics! Alright, there are 4 things we're going to talk about in this segment of Comically Speaking, and the first one is the news of the CW picking up the recently canceled Swamp Thing series from DC Universe. And I think this is great. Now, it still remains a mystery as to why Swamp Thing was canceled, but with this series coming to the CW, I strongly believe that it's going to deliver. I think it would have delivered had they not canceled it on DC Universe. I mean, you look at the list of shows that have been very successful on there. You know, the last few seasons of Smallville, The Flash, Supergirl, Black Lightning, Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow, and you know, and then also Stargirl is premiering this week. And I believe Swamp Thing is going to be great. I mean, of course, Swamp Thing was originally created by Lin Wein and Bernie Wrightson, and it's had 2 movies. An animated series, and then also a half-hour live-action show in the early '90s. And I think as a full-hour show on the CW, it's going to take the character to even greater heights. And I can't wait to watch when it premieres. All right, and the second thing is that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, all shows on the CW won't premiere until next year, and rightfully so. You know, have to practice social distancing, and then when the CDC says it's okay to not have to do that anymore, then they're going to go ahead and start filming. And one of the shows that's, of course, we're going to see the season premiere of shows like Batwoman, The Flash, Supergirl, and then also the series premiere of the forthcoming Superman and Lois series, which is a spin-off from both Supergirl and Crisis on Infinite Earths. And honestly, I can't wait till all those shows premiere. It's going to be awesome. Alright, and the third thing. New Mutants gets a new theatrical release, and it's August 28th. And I really can't wait to see it. It's based on the characters that were created by Chris Claremont and Bob McLeod in 1983. Of course, they had their own long-running series that ran all the way from 83 through the 90s, and I can't wait till it comes out. Alright, and then finally, and this is very, very huge news. In less than 2 months, there's going to be a Sandman audio series that's going to air on July 15th. And here's the list of actors that are going and the voices they're going to play. Alright, going to have Riz Ahmed as the Corinthian, Kat Dennings as Death, Taron Egerton as John Constantine, Neil Gaiman as the narrator. Of course, Neil Gaiman created Sandman. James McAvoy as Morpheus, Samantha Morton as Urania Blackwell, Bebe Neuwirth as the Siamese Cat. Now, if that name sounds familiar to some of y'all, especially folks that are my age or older, she played Lilith, or Frasier's ex-wife, on both Cheers and Frasier. And Andy Serkis will play the voice of Matthew the Raven, and Michael Sheen will play the voice of Lucifer. Really looking forward to this. Now, my only complaint about this is Taron Egerton playing the voice of John Constantine. Now, you already know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. I still believe that Matt Ryan should play the voice of John Constantine. I mean, Matt Ryan has done nothing but delivered, playing the role of John Constantine on the short-lived Constantine series on NBC, and then also with the same role on DC's Legends of Tomorrow. And also he played the voice of John Constantine in Justice League Dark, which was an animated feature for Warner Brothers. I just felt like, you know, he just got blackballed. I mean, it works, so why not use him? But nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and watch. Alright, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
Alright, first up is Justice League number 44. Justice League Odyssey number 20. And finally, Metal Men number 6. Alright, that's 3, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 9,981. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. Which DC character can control all 7 deadly sins? Now here are the hints. The first hint, this character has been a Teen Titan off and on for 40 years. The second hint, this character is the daughter of a demon. And the third hint, this character has been featured on Teen Titans Go and the Teen Titans animated series as a core member. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Stephanie Flowers from Warren, Ohio, who won a free tee on this week's episode. Alright, with the count, I'm 19 away from 10,000 comics, folks. And, now there's a chance that I might not get to 10,000 comics next week. I mean, next week is the final week of May. And you know what? I'm okay with that. And, you know, because I'm not worried about getting to it because I know I'm going to. And it doesn't, you know, I know I said that I was hoping that I would get to it in before the month is out. But even if I don't, that's fine. And speaking of next month, next month is the Summer of Superheroes 2. Now I've decided that this is going to be a regular staple on the show every summer, and it's taken on a new meaning. This year I'm going to honor all healthcare workers. It doesn't matter whether you're doctors, nurses assistants, or first responders. This entire summer is for you. And right now I'm about done organizing a tournament for the Summer of Superheroes 2. And the tournament goes like this. I'm going to have 22 shirts for y'all to vote on. And the 11 that survive will be the shirts that I wear during the Summer of Superheroes 2. Now you're probably wondering, Vic, why are you having us vote for 11 shirts when there are 13 weeks? Well, that's only because the Captain America comic hero tee and the Superman comic hero tee are out by default. Being Superman being, you know, one of the first superheroes, and then Captain America, you know, I'm going to wear that shirt to observe the 4th of July. And now the tournament is going to be all throughout social media and on YouTube. And speaking of which, beginning this week, and then I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, I'm going to start posting the Comic Hero Free Tee Question of the Week on YouTube. And because, you know, it's great that I'm posting a free tee question of the week on social media, but it's not fair to everyone who watches directly from YouTube. And I just want to be fair to everyone. All right, there's nothing really anything else. There's nothing else I want to say. So anyway, I'm Victor Nunley on the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 312. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero.